Good morning, everyone. Welcome to, what is it, day 5 of quarantine? uh, we are back playing Coteries of New York, Toreador playthrough. I am Ellie. It's been a morning, I'm not gonna lie. I stayed up quite late playing Animal Crossing. So I'm rather tired. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's get this music up. Load our game. God, we're already on night 14. We've been doing this a while. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. 1 second. There we go. Let's see, who to go to first. Nope, you didn't miss anything yet, Sarah. I was just about to figure out who we were gonna go see first. Even though, no, we need to rest first. Let's start this game by sleeping. A piece of paper is sticking out of you mailbox. Where me and Coteries in New York are struggling today. It's a computer printout, a note and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, "Meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up, we'll take it from there." No signature. The place marked on the map as the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. You check the phone that Mia passed to you. No new messages, no missed calls. It's all a bit fishy, but there's only one way to find out who addressed this to you. Looks like tomorrow evening has been planned out for you. Am I just like a bad vampire that I get a message like that and I'd be like, fuck off? No. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. You take the car down to Brooklyn, park on Front Street, and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure of about Mia's size is standing there, dressed in an oversized jacket and looking out toward Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. "It is true, but I do not think it true. If you do not think it true, then it cannot be true. If it cannot be true, then..." I'm gonna say, are you the one that left the note? Hey, are you the one that left the note at my apartment? The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you've never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. "The ink on the paper did the message leave. The ink on the paper did your face here bring." You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead. "So, you got the message." "I did." I'm scared. Oh yeah, what's this about? Yeah. What's all this? I love it. That's a direct call out to my very European way of asking what's going on. What's all that then? Alright. Alright. What's this about? God damn it, Lamar. We just got started. This boy is gonna get got. He about to catch these hands and he's me. Like, what is this? The hell is this? We need like indicators like in Dragon Age. Like with like the emotions of the responses. Of just like if it's gonna be an aggressive response or a sad response or a happy response. Cut the crap. What's this about? "We're taking a trip, friend. The boss wants to meet you." God damn it. This is a trap, but we're gonna say Callahan. Callahan? That's Boss Callahan to you, fuckface. Suggest you get a move on. We got places to be. The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness, the litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles. Or we can do it the hard way. I swear to God, why are all anarchs like this? We're gonna agree to go with him. We wanted to see Callahan. We also wanted to see someone else, so... I don't think she's demontating me. I think she's just a Malkavian that found me. Finally, someone who can communicate on Lamar's level of needless insults. They must both be from the same borough. I'm gonna agree to go. Yeah, okay. I'll go with you. Smart. They lead you down the pier and onto the motorboat. The engine starts. Put this on. Points to a cloth sack. One of the guys is holding you down. The woman is still there, whispering to herself. Somehow you hear her voice clearly in your head. Sorry, I have a very pixie sneeze. It becomes a nagging suggestion to put the sack over your head. You don't really want to do it, but your hands go through the motions all the same. It takes 15 or so minutes to reach your destination, you think. The engine dies down and you are led on shore and then further up an incline and through some overgrowth. Yeah, I think she is imitating me a little bit. Not like to the level I suspected, but enough that she's essentially making suggestions. Like, she might be using something akin to like rationalize, where the things that they're saying make sense and so I should do them. 10 more minutes of walking maybe until a deep voice reaches your ears. For anyone who's watched LA by Night, please tell me you just read that in the same way that I did. I know it's not Fiorenza, but that's a very Fiorenza thing to say. It's at a very deep voice. I can't do Fiorenza's voice. Vincent, my dear boy, why the hood over a guest's face? Well, boss, I thought... No. That will not do. How many times do I have to repeat myself, Vincent? You don't have to think. You have to listen and do what you're told, yes? Yes, boss. Well, take that ridiculous sack off their head, will you? The hood comes off. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight, dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing with a monocle and graying hair. Is this Callahan? Bruh, if it is, that aesthetic is gonna kill me. Bruh! Yes! Look how dashing. Oh my god. Surprise! Welcome to Ellie's harem. Meet my newest associate. Apologies for Vincent's unacceptable behavior. He can be a little thick sometimes. Isn't that right, Vincent? Yeah, boss. Sometimes. A little. I believe you already know who I am. Oh. What is that third option? No! Absolutely not. What the fuck? What the fuck? That is so... I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, watch Watch if I select your boss Callahan. It'll be like, ah, yes, you are boss Callahan. You motherfucker. And then if I select, like, you're a dumb looking motherfucker, he's like, I'm just kidding. You must be boss Callahan. I love you. Like, ridiculous. Okay. No, I'm not saving and doing it. I'm not saying that to him. You're boss Callahan. Right you are. And I'm guessing you know my role in this city. I represent the Anarch movement, while you... I'm not quite sure what you represent. I've invited you here to find out. Now, let me make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you. Truly disappointed. But I arranged this meeting to allow you to make amends. We got caught. First, though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. Do you know why you're here? I feel like with their attitude towards me and the whole situation, I feel like he knows about Sophie. Interrupting your steel industry. Stop it. Which answer? Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 because that's what we were requesting directly from the Anarchs. Because he said he doesn't know what we represent, so maybe he doesn't know about Sophie. Maybe? I don't know. Is it because I wanted to meet with Torque? Ah, yes. You're not stupid, so that's a nice change of pace. Torque is the reason you're here, or that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told, yes? Mia. Oh, how I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman, and that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed. The prudent thing to do is tolerate both her and her Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. We're skipping over the last part of that sentence. Oh. Oh, nope. We got an old racist here. Never mind. We don't like him no more. We are... Nope. This is... I will say, the only thing I'm going to say about this scene is I saw some people claiming that there was no consideration to, like, different race, different gender, or things when you talk to characters in different routes. Somebody was claiming that there was no variation, and this is absolutely a variation. So, if you see someone criticizing, saying that the game didn't take into account, you know, playing a black character, apparently they did. Don't like that. Oh! This is one time y'all gonna see me pick a rude ass answer. Which one? Let's say, finished with your disgusting rant? Okay, I'm a little scared of him. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared that this might go really bad. But fuck this guy. Fuck Callahan. Fuck him. Oh, fledgling, you have no idea who you're messing with. I don't even want to give him a good voice anymore. I'm doing it for the theatrics, for all of you. If I was doing this from home by myself, I would be giving him a really stupid voice. He looks at you with rage in his eyes, and you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying. Bullshit. He's an old racist. Yeah, he's using Daunt, and that makes me so mad. An old racist that has access to Daunt is just the worst. Alright. Now that I have your full attention, I will request something from you, and you will obey me to the letter, but that comes later. First, you will answer a few questions. The first of which is, who pointed you to Mia? Nobody, it was my idea! He's using Daunt. Which I feel like should technically negate the other option. Like, this shouldn't exist, technically, with Daunt, but fuck it, we're gonna try and see what happens. Nobody, it was my idea. Oh, really? And what was your intention behind the meeting? I wanted to contact Torg. If I say I want to contact Torg, then he's gonna wonder why I didn't want to contact him. I needed Mia's help? We're gonna go with that option. I needed her help with something. Oh, come now, you'll have to be more specific than that. I need to know exactly what it was that you discussed. I wanted her to explain the anarchs to me. I'm just a wee little independent babby, and I don't know nothing about vampire rules, so I wanted Sophie to give... no, not Sophie. We ain't saying Sophie's name. I wanted Mia to give me some information. I just wanted to learn about the Anarch, so I asked her about the movement. See. Oh, child, you should have come to me then. I am the Anarch movement in New York City, and nobody makes a secret out of it. You bet on the wrong horse, as I'm sure you'll soon learn. Yeah, okay, so Sarah sent me as well, being Borderlands trash. I keep reading Torque as Torg. And I'm just imagining, like, an Anarch leader that's just like, explosions! See, that wasn't hard, now was it? Of course, I can't be sure how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth as much as yesternight's horseshit. But I'll find out. I always do. And when I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks. And maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time. Wait, why am I hungry? What fucker? He gives Vince a sign and the burly man starts hitting you all over. Oh, that's why. Your feet, you feel teeth, ribs, and fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot. Your shoulder dislocated. Your nose wrecked. That's enough, Vincent. Leave them be. He snaps his fingers in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely. I am a man of principle. Another night, I would perhaps put you in a casket, dip it in concrete, and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the Roaring 20s. Ah, it's been a while. But, like I mentioned before, I am nothing but prudent. And so the interests of this city's kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. Here's what I require in return for this boon. This ain't a fucking boon, you piece of shit. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on you. On him. If you want a place with the Anarchs, you go through me and only me. Got it? You have to understand what I made my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutually beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death. Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance. Callahan walks away, as do Vince and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together, your hunger growing. You can hear the beast calling, for sustenance, for safety, for revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. It's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi and head back to your haven. The whole way there, you are tempted by the beast. Your driver, a 30-something with a strong Slavic accent and unpronounceable name, that's just racist, and his ID keeps asking if he should drive you to the hospital. You keep declining, all the while thinking that if you only asked him to pull over for 5 minutes, you could feast on his warm blood to the beast's content, drinking him whole. Nobody would know. He'll know that shit. Nobody but his wife and kids, if he has them. Nobody but his boss and co-workers. Nobody but you as you look in the mirror tomorrow. Keeping your hunger at bay was never before as difficult as it is tonight. The driver stops at your apartment building. There's nobody around. You can do it. Do it. Now. Now. No, we're resisting. We're not giving in to the beast. We're not fucking doing this shit. The beast is an asshole. And we're not doing this. Resist. You pay the driver and walk out. Fast. Leave the car behind. Don't look back. Look back. Walk back. Feed. No. Through the door, up the stairs, key in the lock, open the apartment, walk in, lock yourself in. The familiar four walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you keep it at bay tonight. Not a small feat given your state. You are still weak. You are not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow you will have to feed again. Tomorrow you'll have to consider your next move. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits, but tonight you rest. Alright, let's rest. Waking up tonight feels different for two reasons. For one, you are pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat, though. The hunger you feel is pronounced. The beast like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. What is truly remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone. An unknown number is calling the phone you got from Mia. You pick it up. Keep that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright? We're gonna be a little gruff this time. I feel like shit. No, actually. I feel like shit. Look, that's too bad, but I really don't care. I was just being polite. I'm calling with good news. Torque has agreed to meet you. There's a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. 2 things. No drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And this is an exclusively no powers meeting. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners the whole evening. And also, we don't trust you, so keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? Ooh. Should we say Callahan forbade me from meeting Torg? We should expect company. Or will you protect me from Callahan? I feel like in some way we do have to drop a name. A, because we're Lamar. And we're a name dropping motherfucker. Callahan forbade me from meeting Torg sounds like I am gonna do what Callahan tells me. Whereas will you protect me from Callahan is more like, hey, some shit went down that you should know about. Let's try that one. If we're to meet, I need you to offer me protection from Callahan. I met him yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbade me from meeting Torg. Okay, so we said the first one anyway. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can't promise you any protection on your way there or back, but at the pub, you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional lookouts on watch. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I've got to say is, the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I won't blame you. It's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight? It better be in good faith. She ends the call. First things first, you take the subway to York Street Station, walk to Front Street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. We need to feed or we're gonna fuck up this meeting. Yeah, everyone, four. You've been doing this for a good few nights. You're getting a feel for it. You're learning what kind of predator you are and what kind of blood you crave. You're so caught up in yesterday's problems and in this cloak and dagger debacle you're now a part of that the hunt feels almost automatic and casual tonight. A fragment of you surrenders control. Just minutes after you find your victim, coax them, and drink from them, you find you've forgotten their face or how they were dressed. It only hits you once you look at yourself in the car's rearview mirror. This was wrong. You can't let this become the norm. You hurt somebody. A human being. You're a monster. You need to stay mindful of this. You're a monster, but unless you let yourself off the hook, you can hold on to your humanity and not let yourself slide down the spiral. Instead of clearing your mind, this clouded it further, and you are no closer to a decision. And we're still technically hungry. What the fuck? Okay. If we go to the meeting directly, that feels really obvious and Callahan's watching us. If we drive around before going, then it looks like we were just like hanging out and then we just stopped there. We can't tell Sophie that we can't meet. We can't, like... This is Anarch bullshit that is exactly like Camarilla bullshit. I'm just saying. Anarchs, get your shit together. You're no better. Let's drive around. You do intend to visit Torque tonight, but you decide to drive around a bit first. Something tells you there might be someone tailing you. It sounds sensible to try and lose them. You spend a good 2 hours looking in your rearview mirror and driving all over the city before finally driving to the Bronx. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets over from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for the most part, look no different than regular people, makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final glance around, there's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. Time to crack open a warm one. Oh my god. I keep fussing with my hair because despite blow drying my hair directly before coming on stream, it's still a little bit wet and I don't understand why. Alright. My hair is like ridiculously like sort of thin until I blow dry it and then it gets really thick and it takes forever to dry. Um, the smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it, a constant fog hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. Has anyone else been in bars like that? Because that shit cracks me up every time. Like, the bars that just have a fan just kind of... And you know it's just for aesthetic, like it's not actually doing anything. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glasses tells you all you need to know about this clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you got the address right. What about playing billiards makes this not a vampire bar? Like, do vampires not play billiards? Anyway. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motions you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What, got cold feet? Never mind. Anyone follow you? You fucking bitch. It took me a while to get here because someone was! My patience with the anarch movement of New York is non-existent. I don't know, maybe. Who knows, maybe. I had to look around and it seemed clear enough. You're not the best person to judge that, then. My lookout let me know you were coming a few minutes ago. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. You didn't prove very helpful at the bar. Carol, the bartender, mentioned that you made an effort, but as you can imagine, there's plenty of licks who use feminine pronouns in this city. Still, I'll take what I can get, so thanks for that, I guess. Come on, Tor's right here. I just want to point out that so far, Camarilla's been much nicer. I'm just saying. I am constantly recruiting for the Camarilla. It's just my lot in life. You walk toward one of the tables. A guy in a coat and hat leans over to take his shot. He's way ahead of his opponent, and the table is clear of his balls, save for the 8-ball in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Oh. Look, fuck the anarch movement, but that is style. Damn. The absolute style. The absolute style. I am not doing a Torg voice for this poor guy. Fuck the anarch movement, but like, fuck the anarch movement. Also, scarf! We have a scarf alert. ATL by Night fans. God, I don't know what kind of voice to give him. It's not going to be Mr. Torg. This man doesn't look like he's into explosions! Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and sends the black ball exactly where its player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. You want to pay up now or up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man is good-looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Torg. I believe you're Lamar, Sophie Langley's new plaything. Is that right? How does everyone always know that? You anarchs too? How does everyone always know that? Word travels fast when you care to listen, fledgling. We wouldn't be talking tonight if I hadn't learned that a long time ago. Forgive my being real with you right off the bat, but I like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley, and Langley's Cam through and through, I'm told, what is it you've come to accomplish here tonight? You know what? Let's just tell him the fucking truth. He knows about Sophie. Let's just tell him the truth. I feel like he would respect that. Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck? I knew nothing about this tea. They lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty, what I say. Even if you weren't straight with my second in command, that I don't appreciate. Well, well, well. Ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hardline Cam. It's a trap. It must be. It just might be. It just might. He looks at you, pierces you with those unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens at the back of the room. Hey, Torque, you, got a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she has half a mind to chuck it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself bluffing your way in here. I wish I did this differently, but it is what it is. I'm not proud of myself. You shouldn't be. You made me look like a chump in front of Torque. Here I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. Torque appears from the door at the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Lamar, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in here with you. Torque ushers you in and closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is gonna fuck you up so bad, you have no idea. Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Cerruti before, Lamar? You could say that. You're fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it, you stupid piece of shit. I should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now and tell me how many of your guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself. You're done. The boss will know this stupid piece of shit fledgling came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means, Torque. No, I don't. What does that mean, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's and all those buddies of yours. Gone. You're done, Torque. Please tell me we about to kill this bitch. He deserves it. Well now, if that's the case, I guess ridding NYC of your toady ass won't make anything any worse, will it? Actually, there's an idea. Vince mentioned that he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Lamar? You want to return the favor? Gladly. Go right ahead. Oh, shit! Y'all... Okay, so I know what all y'all are gonna fucking choose. The chat already. Steak, steak, steak! If we stake him, I think we might lose a little humanity. They sent one of yours to the hospital, you sent one of theirs to the morgue. That's mob rules. Yeah, I'm too hungry to do it clean. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'm too hungry. I can't, yeah, we're blocked by hunger. Yeah, I feel like if we stake him, that's just, giving in to the beast. Put the boots to a medium style. Oh. I'm not gonna lie. There is so much temptation there to just stake the shit out of him. No one else is in this room. No one will fucking know. But I also feel like if I stake Vince, that puts me very much friendly with the Anarchs. Oh. I was about to say this is a real Sophie's choice and then realized the irony of my words. We have the option to click to hurt Vince. Oh, they're saying you legit can't choose hurt Vince a lot. Yeah, if we hurt Vince a lot, I feel like we're just gonna continue because of the hunger level we're at. Oh, you can't stake him. That's the thing. Oh, so stake Vince is like, that's the beast talking to me. What happens if I click it? Temptation is there. Why hurt him when you can destroy him? A southernism. Let's see what happens just when we click it. Oh, yeah. If I wasn't hungry, I could just stake him. Oh. Alright, Liz. It's about to go beast mode. That's the thing is, I'm too hungry, so I can't do the clean option, but it did not give me any way to cure it. I fed. I didn't have any other fucking choice. We don't have enough spoons to kill it. I didn't eat the driver. That's right. Fuck! If I'd eaten the driver and killed an innocent man, I could have just staked this motherfucker. Nah, let's just beat the shit out of him. Fuck it. You hit Vince once, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and keep hitting him. Again. More. Until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered, and broken. The two Anarch dudes let go of him, and you kick some more while he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough's enough, Lamar. He takes an old pull cue and breaks it over his knee. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. Mia takes a sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give out a yelp. The other two Anarchs take him out of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Lamar? It's a Second Inquisition effort here in New York City. A single night of raids and a magnitude never seen before or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard, all over town. Havens were rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece.
And that, my dear children, is why you should be with the Camarilla.
I'm just saying. The way Camarilla does... Exactly, these are not points in the Anarch favor. The way y'all do things, y'all got fucking got. The way Camarilla does things, they survived. I'm a cam bitch, what can I say? Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child Barb, or Mia's sire, extinguished. But you know who got out of there without a scratch? Callahan. We've thought about it for the past few years. How is it the Big B managed to excuse himself from the Staten Island Museum, where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor showed up? This is why the camp shouldn't have stockpiled all the resources and locations to keep them safe. Oh, you're gonna kick back my Camarilla takes? Here's the kickback to that. Camarilla always welcomes de facto, anyone who renounces the Anarch movement gets welcomed into the Camarilla. Pretty decently, actually. So, yeah, defectors, that's the word. Anyone who defected would have had access to those things. People weren't prevented from them. But, you know, any movement that says, fuck you and everything you stand for, obviously they don't. Who hates Thin Bloods more? So, real quick, the hatred of Thin Bloods is a person-to-person thing. It's not a sect thing. Because Thin Bloods in the Book of Nod are a sign of Gehenna, which is the end times. So it really, the people who hate the Thin Bloods most are the ones who very much believe in the Book of Nod, believe in prophecies, believe in doomsday shit. So a lot of younger kindred are perfectly fine with Thin Bloods because they didn't spend hundreds of years, like, living with this prophecy that when Thin Bloods come about, that means we all die. Because summarizing a really long, a really old prophecy, when the Thin Bloods come about, that means the blood's not good anymore, and then the antediluvians are gonna rise up and they're gonna kill us all. And there's some signs that that might start being happening, but we don't know. It's all really weird. Oh yeah, no, it's not like Mudblood, which is a terrible term. It's not like Thin Blood at all. It's more like, it's just old people believe in prophecies. Yeah. You'll know this by the time of the Thin Blood. So no one sect, believes in it more than the other, like, as an institution. Also, yeah, only certain Camarilla sects, brand them. And that's the people who fear them. Like, newer setups really don't have a problem with them. It's weird. But it's really, like, on a person-to-person basis. But yeah, we can go over all of that on the fan Discord. I love talking about Thin Bloods. I think that they are fascinating. I think they absolutely don't get enough love in the universe, which is why Thin Bloods have love in ATL by night, and that's all I'll say. Okay. How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I also see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the Second Inquisition? We think the bastard knew that what was coming, and he set us up. Not just us, some of our brothers and sisters who got hit hard, some of the lowest profiles in this city's lick population. The moral of the story? Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker, and even if his thickest followers suggest he's going to sell me out, then that's what he's going to do as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment, and you see him reach a decision. Yeah, God, I hate the word lick so much. You said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part that I'm at this juncture, but now's going to be a good time as any to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do then? You said it yourself. It's all this fledgling's fault. They brought this on us, so let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them, Langley needs them. They're valuable. I'm so... What the fuck, Mia? I just... I read that completely as, what the fuck is up, Kyle? What the fuck is up, Mia? Nah, Mia. What the fuck? Yeah, lick is a term that mostly Sabbat and Anarch use, because they think kindred is a Camarilla term. But really, Camarilla is like, we just over here trying to be polite. Like, lick is nasty. But Camarilla people do use it as an insult. It's weird. Ansley and older Anarchs think they're bad. Yeah. So pretty much the view of Thin Bloods is kind of similar to just boomers versus millennials. Younger vampires are totally fine with them. They want to protect them. They want to help them. Older ones that grew up with the prophecy, they hate them. And that's across all factions, all clans. There's not really one that hates them more than anybody. Let's see. I say, I'm sorry, but don't sell me out. Guys, I'm sorry it turned out this way, I really am. I'm just a messenger in this. Don't throw me under the bus. That's just it. CT, they're just a messenger. What if this whole thing was planned? What if Langley is looking to score brownie points with the prince and this is all a setup? If that's the case, then they're beyond the point of no return anyway. So what if Callahan wants his fledgling? He wants us out of the picture. He'll find a reason. If not tonight, then soon. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles and takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up, personally, and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. 2 of you and 2 of us. Nobody else. And third, the meeting is in public. Downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out, and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming to that, though. You seem likable enough. The cam hasn't gotten its talons in you yet. Keep it up, Maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. It's dangerous being Anarch. Fuck that shit. He does have... He's really... I see comments that he looks like Vampire Snoop Dogg. The cheekbone line, absolutely. Snoop Dogg has got cheekbones for days. My my stepdad growing up had the same like facial structure as Snoop Dogg, and it was weird. Same goatee, same cheekbones. It was wild. Yeah, it's the cheekbone and goatee. It's wild. I'll repeat your conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me here when you need me. The bartender knows how to get in touch. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the door and accompanies you to your car. Listen, about what I said before. I hope you're here to apologize, you fucking bitch. Yeah, what about it? Or save it. We're gonna go with the neutral rude response. Yeah? What about it? I panicked. That's all it was. It was unfair what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself, and that makes me angry with you. Is she in therapy? We were talking about vampire therapists. Is she in therapy? Because that sounds very like, this is how my doctor has told me to approach situations. Forget it. See ya. She starts walking back to the car as you start the edges and head back to Sophie's apartment. Yeah, she's in Bruja anger management. It did sound like an anger management response of like, I'm sorry, I'm not angry with you, I'm angry at myself. Time to get Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you for what news you might bring. Good evening, Lamar. How is your task going? You have something for me, perhaps? We gotta be honest, y'all. I did what you asked. The meeting is set up. I suggest we take advantage of that quickly, though. There's gonna be trouble. Trouble? What trouble? Which is the best way to word it? Because I don't trust Lamar to say something correctly. Callahan's goon threatened Torque? Like, 2 feels like I'm giving her more information. But if I say forbade me from meeting Torque, then she'll think I didn't do it. I'm thinking 3, just because if I say Callahan forbade me from meeting Torque, I don't trust Lamar to say, but I did it anyway. But Callahan's goon threatened Torque tells her that I met him and that Callahan's a problem. Whatever I choose will just say fuckface. Let's go with 3. During my meeting with Torg, the same guy who beat me up yesterday, Vince, showed up. He's Callahan's goon. We have to assume he knows that I met Torg. Well, that just means we have to bring the plan to a close, and thank you for your good timing. We're just a day away from that. Well, let's hear it. What did Torg agree to? You relay the Anarch leader's conditions. You are to pick him and Mia up. The meeting should include only the 4 of you and should be held in a public place. Those are all fair enough. Although I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy? She's fine for an Anarch. Oh, my opinion of 90% of the anarchs I know. Well, you're fine for an anarch. Be doing better if you weren't. Yeah, I think one, Torque trusts her. That's kind of the important thing. Like, it doesn't matter what I think of her. Like, I realize Sophie wants to know what I think of her, but the condition is her coming along, so the more important aspect of that is that Torque trusts her. Well, Torque trusts her, so we can too, I think. Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meeting in the Hudson Yards. The vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight... She seems to have made up her mind. Yes. Bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level. I mean, duh. It's gonna be tomorrow. Like, we all know Callahan's moving, so we don't really have time. What's so important that you can't just send him a letter or something? You'll be there to find out, of course. Pick them up at midnight, then drive them back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes, within reason. I'm counting on you, Lamar. The final puzzle piece is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we will all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. I could kiss you. Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. She must have caught in your expression. She smiles. A figure of speech, darling. Or at least it is tonight. But a few nights from now? Who knows? I'm growing fond of you. And success whets my appetite for these kinds of things. The sexual tension in the room becomes unbearable until it suddenly disappears. Was that another one of Sophie's tricks? Yeah, she was using awe. Or an actual spark of arousal in both your undead bodies. No. Is Vampcest a thing? Ask Clan Giovanni. I'll leave it at that. You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The warmth... No! I don't want to talk about vampire boners! We're skipping that. Use the rest of this night well, Lamar, and rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. I will not say... Stop saying say it, coward! This motherfucker back again! A boner. Sarah said no. I hate it and I love it. Okay. This motherfucker. Why? Oh. Oh. Also, I can tell my eyes are tired from playing Animal Crossing because whenever I happen to catch my vision in the webcam, I look cross-eyed as shit. I have a lazy eye. Let's see. Sylvan Densenby is watching me. Oh yeah, trying to destroy Kara. Broke defeating Ellie through political argument. Woke defeating Ellie by saying voter. You can't just stick me in front of a thing and make it a thing, guys. Yes, you can. This isn't my computer, it's my computer. Y'all are stupid. I love y'all. Alright, just checking up on D'Angelo. Okay, so D'Angelo and Tamika, that's dropping in to check on them. You know what? I'm still very intrigued by Father Anthony and True Faith because it's one of my favorite Vampire the Masquerade aspects, so we're just gonna do this. I'm very tense about what's happening with Callahan. I want to get away from that fucking old-ass racist. Approaching the cathedral on the street makes you nervous. You've been here twice, and twice something bad has happened. Or almost happened. As in both cases, you ran away. Benoit suggests it's time to stop running and experience faith head-on. Perhaps he's right. Maybe it is cowardly to take refuge in rationalizations when you know what you felt, the holiness of the priest and your own damnation. Walking towards the doors of the cathedral, you glance at the bench where you sat when you first met Benoit. He is waiting for you, sitting and contemplating the cathedral's Gothic architecture. I want to get away from this old man who's creeping me out, so let's go bother this old man who makes me feel the fear of the Almighty. No, it's more like, let's get away from this fucking old hateful racist, and let's go to a kind father that I'm just scared of, because he really loves the Lord. I wasn't certain I even wanted to talk to you after last time. I understand. I'm happy you chose to come. Benoit looks different than before. Intense. Certain. I can't remember if we gave him a little weird French voice, but we're gonna. You've had some time to think about what we spoke of before. I want to learn more about Cain, about where we all came from. All in good time. I have something different in mind for tonight, as you surely remember. Let's go see Father Anthony. It's not best to talk in the cathedral, so I arranged for us to see him at his home. I have a car nearby. This better be on the level. This better be on the level, Benoit. We're beyond that kind of tough talk, don't you think? You follow Benoit as he walks down the street until you come to his car. A surprisingly pedestrian family sedan. The essence of the Masquerade is inconspicuousness. Nobody expects a vampire to drive a car like this. Nobody expects a Honda Civic. Benoit drives north towards Queens. During these moments, you feel anonymous. Just another speck of dust in a vast machine where every action influences the whole in tiny ways. Oh, that's where you're from, Zach. Queens! Yes. Well, apparently there's a priest with true faith where you live. The one thing you've learned about Kindred is that they are not lacking in self-regard. A Vonda Civic, that's right. The prince of a Camarilla city is said to rule the domain, yet how much do they really affect mortal affairs? If you ask a vampire, they'll say a lot. Perhaps that's what Benoit... Ugh, I butchered that sentence. Perhaps that's what made Benoit turn inward. The futility of finding meaning in a secret, predatory existence. Benoit stops in front of a red brick row house, a little run down, but probably not cheap. Benoit notes your interest. Father Anthony comes from an old New York family. He inherited the house. When I first met him, I was suspicious, so I checked up on him. Despite the way he keeps putting you in dangerous situations, kindred paranoia seems to come naturally to Benoit. Perhaps that's something you can learn from him. Isn't this a masquerade breach? Yeah. Isn't this a masquerade breach? I suppose. But we make ghouls all the time. We hunt. The masquerade is threatened regularly by much worse than this. He's not wrong. Technically, ghouls in themselves should be a masquerade breach, but we're all just kind of like, look, somebody has to do my grocery shopping. You follow Benoit to the stairs, looking around for any signs of an ambush. As you get to the door, the first signs of the trepidation hit you. The discomfort, the pain that'll follow once you're inside. It feels like a physical thing, a burning sensation under your skin, in your blood. You look to see how Benoit has taken it. He's smiling, eyes closed for a second before knocking on the door. Almost as if he's enjoying the sensation. I imagine in a way it would make you feel like kind of alive. Like, I don't know, that like kind of level of pain and like knowing that it's because of true faith. It might actually be something that you're just like, that in a weird way you could take comfort in. I don't know. Sounds weird. I love that I'm taking it as like this spiritual thing. You guys immediately are like priest kink. The door opens and you see Father Anthony's kindly face. Your body feels as if it's in a vice, or as if in a vice. You haven't really been bothered by hot or cold since you were embraced, but now it feels like the surface of your skin is overwhelmed with sensation. The fear and terror are paralyzing. Yes. You barely hear Benoit's whisper. Come in, you two. I might not know how much, but I know enough not to do this on the porch. You force yourself to follow Father Anthony into the apartment. Despite the splitting headache and rising panic, it's hard to take in your surroundings. Everything seems to vibrate, seeking to engulf you. It's just me at the dentist office, honestly. Framed portraits on a mantelpiece, a cross on the wall, a living room with lots of books, many of them old. I'm not sure I can offer you anything. You don't drink tea, I suppose. No, we don't. We'll be fine. Thank you, Father. Are you sure you're okay? You look distressed. Please, Father. You know this is difficult for us. You'll forgive me if I don't waste time. Father Anthony looks pained. Whether because of the rudeness or out of sympathy for your condition, you can't tell. He motions for you to sit down. Both you and Benoit are both too agitated to do so. You feel trapped, like a moth being smeared against a burning light bulb. It's hard to look at Father Anthony, but you can't look at anything else either. Benoit is starting to look increasingly unhinged. His eyes look as if he's seeing into some divine beyond, just outside the grasp of your senses. Now's the time, my friend. You have to decide if you're ready for salvation. Prove your faith by embracing the Father and let his radiance envelop you. What? What? I'm very confused. Yeah, this escalated real fucking fast, and we have been told nothing. Yeah, chat, help me out here. I don't want to run. I don't want to run. I want to see where this goes. This is the moment when you realize your date through the evening is going in a very different direction than you did. Instinct says nope, I need to fuck off by Benoit. I feel like at least, Please Benoit, It Hurts will drag this out a little bit. And we might still have an option to run. I don't want to say yes, I'm ready. Please Benoit, It Hurts. You're damned. It's supposed to hurt. Just kneel and be blessed. As the burning pain wrecks your body, Benoit pushes you down to your knees. You don't resist, too consumed by the holy suffering inflicted on you. Startled, Father Anthony takes a step back. Benoit, what are you doing? Father, it's time to be redeemed, for both of us. Oh! 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 I think I know what Benoit's trying to achieve. Okay. Benoit falls to his knees next to you, lifting his face in full embrace of the holy agony. This is not right, Benoit. Everyone has a chance for salvation. I understand there's something in God's presence that burns you, but you can work through it. Please, Benoit. There are many paths to salvation, and we'll find yours. I won't hurt you and your friend. Benoit moans in pain, stricken with grief and disbelief at Father Anthony's refusal. Please, Father. They don't even believe, not truly. Benoit's got that Golconda push. Mm-hmm. Oh. So, to enlighten a little bit as to what I think Benoit might be trying to accomplish. Praying the vamp away is kind of it. There is thought from some vampires that you can become human again. It just takes great effort, usually takes a priest. But it's very shrouded and not really possible. Technically. It's called Golconda. We can cover it more in the Discord just to save time from here. Or maybe it'll give me that definition. Maybe Benoit will actually, provide information. It's extremely messy. It's extremely terrible. And it's... Yeah, sure. I'll cover Golconda in Mortal's Guide to Darkness. And it's kind of... This is heartbreaking, really. That, Benoit's doing all this because he wants to go back. If that's what this is really sad, actually. And I kind of love that this game is including this because, obviously, when we play Vampire the Masquerade, we all want to play vampires. We want to. So it's very rare in a game when you get someone who absolutely doesn't want it and is fighting very hard to come back from it. But yeah. Father Anthony looks at you and seems to waver. Even his belief in salvation has limits. We are not going to kill him. We need to get the fuck out of here. We can't do this. I don't really... Oh, I'm nervous to use a power right now. I think the blood level isn't as bad as it was. We're not killing the father. Let's get the fuck out. We can't do this. This has gone too long. You summon the last reserves of your blood and escape. In less time than it takes to blink, you're out the door and outside, using your vampiric speed to escape the pain and fear of Father Anthony's holy presence. You're about to stop at the curb, but glancing back, you realize Benoit is right behind you. I'm just imagining you, zooming down, but then, Benoit's Naruto running behind you, bitch, get back here! The philosophical, rueful Benoit is gone. Instead, you see a man twisted by resentment and abandonment, burning with hate towards you. Oh, fuck. The mask is off, and you realize that he wants you to burn under Father Anthony's touch, even if he has to force you to do it. You're fast enough that for most bystanders you're just a blur. A quick movement that's already gone by the time they start paying attention. Bat fight! Start running on the street. Oh, still, running on the street does no favors to the Masquerade. There are thousands of cameras on the streets of New York, and as you run past pedestrians, the odds of someone starting to wonder increase. Benoit is past caring. You hear a low growl as he gains on you, fangs out, ready to tear out your neck. You duck into an alley, hoping there's somewhere for you to go. A homeless man stares right at you as you streak past. Benoit can't be far behind. It's not very dignified, but beggars can't be choosers. You jump into a dumpster and pull the lid closed. You lie in the stench of the garbage. In moments like these, you're grateful for not having to breathe. Is Benoit still outside? Did he fall for it? You wait for what seems like an eternity before you cautiously lift the lid of the dumpster. He's gonna be like right fucking there. Just the alley. Benoit is nowhere in sight. He's behind you. You escaped. You're safe, but the implications of your existence are troubling. What does this mean? Whether practical or spiritual, it feels like you have to think about this for a long time. You're free to return to your haven. There's a distinct temptation to keep the events of the night to yourself, yet these events cannot be good for the Masquerade. We need to tell Sophie that this happened. Because Sophie can maybe help cover it up. But we can't keep this shit to ourselves. It will bite us in the ass. Guarantee. You make your way to Sophie's apartment, seeking comfort in the anonymity of the crowds of the New York sidewalks. Some are coming from a late shift at work, others are going out. You nod to the doorman and slip into Sophie's building, go up and knock on her door. Sophie opens the door in the middle of a phone call. She motions for you to come in as she mumbles assent to the phone. She could be talking about earth-shattering secrets or an acquisition from an art gallery. Following Sophie's cue, you sit down in the living room. A few moments later, Sophie ends her call and sits down opposite you, regarding you with her usual mix of paternalism and disdain. You appear shaken up. That's not a good look to cultivate in the world of kindred. I feel like we have to tell her about Benoit first and foremost, because homeboy out here just, like, hitting up priest for Golconda. Like, can't be fucking doing that. I have to tell you something about Benoit, your child. Benoit? I haven't heard from him in a while. Where did you dig him up? I'm sorry. I want to say that Benoit is dangerous. Benoit is talking to mortals about us. You have to ask Kadir to put him down. That's not... Nope. Why the fuck would you say it like that? Also, he smokes indoors. He's dangerous in the sense of, like, he's out here talking to mortals. But you don't have to say, tell Kadir to put him down? Sophie looks at you with so much anger. For a moment, you're afraid she'll slap you. The moment passes as soon as it came. She looks lonely for a moment before speaking. I suppose you're right. That's how we deal with a wayward childer. I'll have a talk with Kadir about Benoit. Let's keep your name out of this. It is an executable action, but still. Like, for little fledgling to be like, by the way, Kadir should kill him. Versus, like, just tell Sophie the news and let her make the decision. It's her child. Like, goddamn. Poor Benoit. He never did come to grips with his nature. You leave Sophie's apartment, unsure whether you did the right thing. Yeah, the saved option would have been maybe he's breaking the Masquerade but needs help, or it may be... I don't know. I don't know if we made the right choice, but he just tried to kill us in the middle of the streets, so... Despite everything, Benoit showed you something that's impossible to dismiss. In the coming nights, you'll have to decide what it means. If faith is real, what is the role of a vampire? Which myths can you build your life on? Oh, I just unlocked an achievement called the Faith of the Furious, and it had a red frame around it that makes me think I'm in trouble. Yeah, you tried to force convert us, which is not cool. He was essentially going to kill us to see if Golconda worked. And perhaps one day you'll find your way back to Father Anthony's door. Alright. We need to rest. I feel like we're sleeping a lot this time around. You wake up. This is not your haven. What? Ah! It's a cramped space. You try to move your arms and find they are tied to your body. You can barely bend your legs. When you try to stretch your neck, you hit a cold ceiling. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. God damn it, god damn it. I think Callahan got us. Fuck. You can't quite believe it, but this is a coffin, or something close enough to it. It vibrates slightly, but you can't hear any sounds coming from outside. It's entirely dark. Let's just go fucking feral. We're trapped. We are so low on blood, but I feel like we need to just figure this shit out. You focus and divert your blood to boost your senses. You begin to deduce some details. The vibrations mean you're in some kind of transport, maybe a car. You can just hear the suggestion of an engine's hum. The cold interior is metal for sure. More sounds that you try to focus on. A male voice, indistinct. The crackle of a radio. The brakes of the car. An impact. The container jostles about. The car door opens violently. You hear a gun being cocked. A panicked scream. Operation compromised. Engaging blank bodies. Fuck. A deafening shot rings in your ears. Dazed, you return your senses to their normal levels. The ringing continues. The lid comes off. What the? We found you. Yes! Yes! Yes. Yeah, the soundtrack for Tamika, let's just fucking bask in it. Alright. It's our coterie! Our coterie saved us! Yay! Do we have them? Come on, get up. We gotta get going. Seeing their faces is surprising, even more so in these circumstances. However, you realize the immediate danger and follow your companions out of the car and down a street in North Bronx. The van has crashed into another car. A familiar face, that of Kaiser's ghoul Jackie, stumbles out of the wrecked sedan and slinks away into the darkness before you can call after it. The three of you jog away toward the line of the trees and take shelter under some branches just as you hear a copper approaching. Its searchlight illuminates the wrecked van and moves towards you. Hide. Now! You see as Tamika literally goes underground, melding with the earth beneath her feet as if she's being swallowed up. God, I love that power! Alright. You look at Agathon, who seems to be fiddling with a pocket mirror. He breaks it and suddenly disappears from sight. You're left alone with just seconds to make your move before the spotlight finds you. I love that we don't have any, like, real fucking powers, so it's just like... let's just go under a bush, I guess. No, tempting a power right now is a bad idea. Seeing no better option, you find the nearest bush and dive right under it. It's probably not the best or smartest thing to do, but you have to trust your gut. The illumination passes only inches from you, but it's just a pattern of light on the ground. The trees block a good portion of it. It doesn't dwell on you. I don't know if we got enough coterie points with Hope because we haven't finished, like, the core of her plotline. We haven't destroyed Kara yet. Oh, it's only 2 at a time. Okay. It doesn't seem like they've spotted you or any of your companions. The helicopter flies on, its searchlight frantically moving through the vicinity as your companions once again appear in your proximity. Close call. We have to get out of here before the SI puts boots on the ground. What? We've heard about the Second Inquisition like 6 times now. Why are we doing this? What are you two doing here? Agathon, fill them in while we walk. Follow me. The Second Inquisition. They raided your haven, immobilized you, and were planning on taking you upstate to a secure facility. For further examination, I'm guessing. Kaiser let me know that you were in trouble. Kaiser organized this whole effort? Why would he do that? Maybe your patron asked him for help. I'm sure she figured out that you're in trouble. Okay, our ride's here. Stay low. The SI might still be around. Right? Where is the thank you option? Where is some actual fucking politeness? Kaiser's familiar car stops nearby and the back door opens. Your allies usher you inside and join you. Being inside this mobile fortress never felt like a relief, until now. Hey, fledgling. Miss me? Yeah, actually. Actually, yeah. I kinda did. Aw, that's sweet. I hate to break it to you, but I didn't take a sudden liking to you. I'm here on business. You're here, now, only because I told your buddies that you were neck-deep in shit. That van you were in? A one-way ticket to Hartville, Pennsylvania. I broke you out as a favor. Now you owe me. Big. How the hell did you know the SI broke into my haven and took me away? Is that piss-poor attempt at an insult, fledgling? I've kept eyes on you since that little job you did for me in Nolita. You know, in case I needed you for something else. I had to know your comings and goings. I have a good idea of why the SI hit you, Lamar. Not that there aren't tons of good reasons for it. Might have been one of these, for instance. The screens of Kaiser's car flicker to each one of them now shows a short... Oh, no... It's just me, every video. That's the point. How is everyone awake before you, Tranks? If you get staked, you go Betty by time. So if I was staked, then I was just taking a nappy nap while I was getting vamp napped. Because we're just gonna add V to everything. Yeah. I think it's... Really, I just had sleep paralysis. The screens in Kaiser's car flicker, with each of them now shows a short-lived clue. It's you. Getting into a fight, feeding, using one of your powers. You haven't exactly kept a low profile, fledgling. I get it. You're new to this. You didn't know better. Yada yada yada. The fact is, the SI has tons of this stuff. Security camera footage, YouTube videos posted by onlookers, social media posts from victims, you name it. Like I said though, I didn't think any of these did you in. Slip-ups happen. The reason I need you walking and talking Lamar is to test a hypothesis of mine. For that, I need you to finish what you were asked to do. So first things first. Here. He hands you a phone. The number has already been dialed. You hear the tone. Somebody picks up. Who is this? I am suddenly very suspicious. I have a thought, but I'm not gonna say it yet. It's me, Sophie. Lamar, are you okay? I have a big suspicion right now. They're fine and dandy. Kaiser, what are you doing on this line? What do you think? It's my phone your protege is using, so keep it snappy. Operating a secure network ain't cheap. Come on, Lamar, spit it out. Tamika and Agathon saved me from the Second Inquisition, Sophie. I only got out because of them. Your companions look at one another knowingly. As I? That's what I feared. Listen, the plan. We need to do it. Tonight. But if the Inquisition is involved, and you broke out, they'll be looking for you, so we can't meet in public. I have a place in mind, but... Kaiser, are you still listening? Would I tell you if I wasn't? Lamar, call this number from where you visited before last we spoke. I'll come pick you up. She hangs up. And that's that. What is it that you've gotten yourself into? I'm more interested in what our next move is. Your next move is keeping your asses seated in this luxury vehicle while our mutual acquaintance continues with their night. If my intel is worth a damn, your next stop, Lamar, is right about here. The car comes to a stop and the door opens. Outside, you see the street leading to Solids and Stripes, Torque's pool pub. Well, you need me to kick you out? I want to ask how he knows, but I feel like they already know. I have such a suspicion right now, and I'm not going to bring it up. My hair keeps falling in my face, so I'm gonna like try and tuck it into my headphone or something. Nope, that didn't work. My idea right now, my theory, is that that entire Second Inquisition situation was actually organized by Sophie so that she could get him alone. So she could get him in a private location. She orchestrated me being kidnapped as a means to justify getting Torque somewhere. It's my theory, and I don't like it. What about Tamika and Agathon? What about them? They're staying right where they are. Oh, what about them? They're staying right where they are, and we're gonna have a little chat. After we're done, I'm sure they'll find their way back to their havens just fine. Clock is ticking. I think I know what Sophie wants to do tonight, and if I'm right, tonight's the last chance you got. If you want to say bye to your buddies before you go, that's fine by me, but that schedule of yours is pretty hectic, so you better do it now and scram. There. Now we give a thank you! You thank both of your companions for their assistance. Without them, you wouldn't be here now, and Kaiser makes a gagging gesture and urges you to step out of the car. You turn around and make your way to the bar. The door closes behind you, and Kaiser's limo starts moving again. You hope your companions won't have to pay too high of a price for helping you. The Solids and Stripes is pretty much abandoned tonight, with only the bartender and one bleary-eyed local watching an old Bogart movie on the bar's screen. If you're wondering why my gaze has shifted, I'm watching it on the OBS so that I'm not watching on my laptop and making my eyes go cross, because it's actually hurting my lazy eye a little bit. You ask to use the phone and call Sophie first. Yes? Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. I'm here. You on your way? Yes. We'll be there in about 15 minutes. Notify Torque if he's not there. We need to talk soon and move quickly. She hangs up. Tell the bartender to notify Torque just like the Anarch leader mentioned you should. The man makes a short call. You only hear somebody picking up, but no words exchanged. The owner's on his way right now. Can I get you anything while you're waiting? Oh, I remember. We're not allowed to feed in the bar, so no thank you. I gotta eat, but I was told no feeding in this bar, and I think I am in some deep shit, so let's not make the shit deeper. I'm like squirming in my seat because I'm so nervous. Okay. Torque comes in and some 10 minutes later without Mia. He tips his hat to you, puts a hand on his bleary-eyed patron's shoulder, and says something to him under his breath. They both laugh. Marty, how's the night going? Quiet, sir. Just how you like it, huh? Well, Lamar, I believe you wanted me here for a reason. Let's hear it. You're about to tell him what brought you here when the doors open to the bar and Sophie walks in, all splendor and charisma. The patron's eyes are now glued to her, and so are the bartender. Ah, that awe. Torque isn't happy with the sight. Well, this isn't what we agreed on, Lamar. Care to explain? Things got complicated. We had to improvise. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I believe Lamar already told you why I'm here. Not any detail, and any circumstances of our meeting were supposed to be different. So, Miss Langley, tell me why I shouldn't ask you to leave and kick out your protege while I'm at it. You will like what I have to say. Yeah, I've heard that line 100 times. But 99 of those ended with somebody getting hurt. That's not something I'm in the mood for tonight. We're wasting time. This is a unique opportunity we should be taking advantage of, and we only have an hour or so to discuss it before it will be time to act. My driver is waiting outside. Wait a goddamn minute. First of all, I'm not going anywhere without Mia. That was the deal. Second, it's Lamar who's supposed to be driving, not your servant. Both serve me, so really it's of little difference. The circumstances changed and we had to adapt. Don't be so stubborn. Foolishness does not suit you. I have a secure spot in mind where we can talk. I'll stop you right there. Torque is seething. but he's keeping a lid on his anger. His voice barely changes. My conditions were clear. The way I hear it, you want to break each one of them. I see no reason at all to agree to any of this. I believe I'll be staying put tonight. You have places to be, yes?
Torque, you're throwing away the only chance you have at challenging Callahan. Don't be a fool.
The lid comes off. Call me a fool one more time, woman, and that's not the only thing I'm gonna be throwing. You're both acting like children. Because that's the truth. God damn. Fucking posturing ass old vampires. You're both acting like children. You need to put your differences aside and see each other's point of view. Both Sophie and Torque glare at you. No powers, just their personas are enough to make you feel like you'd prefer anywhere else but here. Who the fuck do you think you are?
There's only one child here, Lamar. Ah yes, unite against your anger at me.
You're their patron, Langley. What does that tell us?
What are you implying, you insolent?
Shots break from the front windows. A flashbang goes off in the room, changing the bar into a space of white light and ringing noise. You feel somebody tugging at your back and you're thrown behind the bar. More shots ring out, bottles break, the TV shatters into pieces, the wooden bar splinters. Your sight comes back, but you think you've gone deaf, because suddenly the room is silent. You see Torque beside you, and Marty, the bartender, bleeding out on the floor. You look over the bar. Sophie is standing there, her dress partly tattered, a visible hole in her leg. She is like the heart of a supernova, entrancing, unavoidable, beautiful, and terrifying. In front of her are 8 operatives, looking like a private military force, just standing there, paralyzed by Sophie's magnificence. Majesty is a hell of a fucking power. Oh my god.
Torque, you still there?
Yeah.
Would you kindly show your guests some hospitality?
Sure thing. The Anarch is gone in the blink of an eye. He reappears next to one of the soldiers. The armor-clad operative's head disappears in a puff of blood and bone. The same thing happens to the second, the third. You hear the radios go off on the soldiers' shoulders, a panicked voice pleading them to wake up. The fourth head pops, the fifth. They finally realize what's happening, but it's too late. The sixth man is beheaded by what you now see as just Torque's bare-fisted punch. Torque stops by the seventh man, rips something off his neck, and bites down. Sophie walks over to the last man and has him kneel in front of her before biting as well. On your right, a man in full body armor emerges from the back door, raising his assault rifle. What the fuck? We are tempting fate. I genuinely don't know what's the right answer here. Do we tempt fate and use a power? Or do we just grab his attention? Because he's got a gun. Fuck it. Let's disarm him. We might kill him. With a rush of speed, you take hold of the soldier's gun. He's too surprised to hold on to it. You turn it on him and shout the first thing that comes to your mind. On the ground, now! A combat knife crashes through the soldier's visor and into his skull. You turn around. Torque is grinning. He mouths something under his breath. You can hear the exact words. Still got it. Langley? She wipes her mouth of blood and looks at him. That meeting's still an item?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Splendid.
I 100% believe Sophie. orchestrated that. It may come back to bite me in the ass being so suspicious of her. But give me one good reason why I shouldn't be suspicious in this kind of fucking situation. I'm so stressed. Okay. Torque walks behind the bar and checks on the bartender. You see the Anarch open his own wrist and feed the blood to the wounded man. That's right, we take care of him. Take care of him. Drink up, Marty. It'll make you feel better. Get the hell out of here and wait for Mia. She's coming. She'll know what to do.
Torque.
Yeah, coming. Take the back door. Lamar, come on. You slink back into an alley behind the bar, leaving 10 bodies and one grievously wounded ghoul behind. Nobody stops you from circling around the block and finding your way to Sophie's car. Gregory drives away casually, as if this was just another late-night drive, and not the crowning of a desperate, complicated evening. The sense of irony is just overwhelming. The place where Sophie brought Torg turns out to be the very same apartment in which you were embraced. The way she explains it, the vampire who owned it left the city a few years ago and gave away spare keys to a few trusted compatriots. It's been used sporadically since. Fancy.
You like it? I always felt too modern for my taste, but what's important is that it's secure.
As long as nobody followed your car here, or the fledgling. Trouble follows this one wherever they go. This is starting to feel like the end of the game, which is why I'm like more nervous about my suspicions about Sophie. I feel like something very, 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 very bad is about to happen.
Even if that's the case, we have very little time to conduct our business here anyway, and we'll be leaving soon, I hope. So let's begin.
We are going to stay silent. You look at Sophie, excited. Finally, you will learn what it is you've been working towards for more than a week. And what is it that Kaiser wanted you to participate in?
I have it on good authority that Boss Callahan is blood bond to Prince Panard.
Bitch. Well, fuck him. That's what I say. Torg sucks in air loudly. That's an accusation and a half there, Langley. Got proof?
No, but we're just a boat ride away from getting it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Lamar, the address that I procured from Kaiser was the meeting spot for Panards and the Baron's regular sharing of blood and other bodily fluids, if the rumors are true.
Wait, Kaiser knew about this?
Is there anything that insufferable clump of dead skin doesn't know in this city? He knows things, but only shares them if you pay. Neither the Prince nor Callahan can touch him. He's too useful.
Kaiser said saving me was in his interest. Kaiser said something about having plans for me. He wanted me to make this meeting happen. That can't be good, right?
That's an interesting point. I think Kaiser might well be interested in shaking up the status quo as we are. A chaotic landscape that makes for a great market for him, unlike a static one.
I don't like playing into that creep's hands, but at least now I know that I'm doing it. The devil you know and all that. What was the address he gave you? I accidentally misread that as Ellie's Island for a moment. Like, I'm not involved.
They meet regularly on Ellis Island. In fact, their next scheduled meeting starts in just around half an hour.
Hot damn. I'm guessing you want to crash the meeting. Why?
So you can see the proof yourself. So that I can make sure, too. and so that I can have an extra pair of eyes for Panard to consider when I present her my ultimatum. The prince must abandon her seat and leave New York City. She can go wherever she pleases, but if she stays, the entire court will know, and the next prince might not look favorably on her past. Dealing with anarchs, especially so closely, is a punishable offense in the Camarilla, as I'm sure you've heard. So I did. Torque strokes his beard and looks intently at Sophie. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Say you remove Panard, and I even remove Callahan. Then what? Torque, did you ever wonder why Callahan is keeping you in check? Because I wondered why the prince condemns anarchs during her visits to Elysium, but doesn't allow the Ivory Tower to challenge you. She, or they, have engineered this status quo not for the good of their sect, but for private gain. They keep us all in line because it lets them hold on to power that much longer. And your goal is, what? Make this Cold War turn hot? Not a great plan. You camies will get your butts kicked out of NYC in no time. And if you anarchs manage to organize, which I doubt you will, at any rate, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I don't stand alone in this. This entire operation has been years in the making. Torque, I am offering you a chance to square things with Callahan and level the playing field. If we get rid of these two, we can start on equal footing at the next stage of this dance macabre. How do I factor into this plan? Do I factor into this plan at all? Yes. We will be taking you with us to Ellis Island, both as another set of eyes to witness the Prince and Baron in this act, and as a bit of added security. I should have said fuck 'em, but I'm playing along. I want to see where this shit goes. Because I'm all about overthrowing princes. If y'all know me, I love that shit. Because, like, a prince could be prince for 500 years. Who gives a fuck? But yeah. I don't think Helene or Callahan would dare lay a finger on me, but they will not find me unprepared. You know, after all those years spent in Callahan's shadow and taking part in all the kindred dick measuring contests, I should expect a ruse, some ploy to kill me in an out-of-the-way place. That's our inherent paranoia talking. My gut tells me it's time to get this show started. I do hope you have a boat nearby, Langley. Sophie smiles mischievously. Of course I do. It's waiting for us by the pier. Lead the way then. Moonlight's burning. I am not reading aloud what was just put in chat. Y'all are terrible. We not doing that. We not, Y'all and your dirty jokes. No. The three of you leave the apartment and walk toward the pier. Nobody seems to be following you. You get on a small patrol boat and double time it through the Hudson's cold, dark waters. Out of all the places in NYC where the Prince and the Baron could meet, and it's Ellis Island, a landmark with a dark past, a museum on one hand, a dilapidated piece of history on the other. You leave the boat and make your way to the southern part of the island, paying no heed to the renovated tourist attractions on the northern side. You can't complain, they're your mods. Yeah, I mean, they're my people, I can still be tired of them. You expected some resistance, a night guard, a helicopter flying overhead, or maybe an NYPD patrol boat. Nothing. The island seems completely deserted. It's clear this sets Sophie on edge. She's moving as quietly and as subtly as ever, but you can see that she's eager to reach the particular house her intel pointed out. Mods rise up. The only things you have to lose is your chains.
Please do not encourage my mods to become horny on main. Please. One of them is my sound guy. One of them is a cast member. Yeah. Emily does not need encouragement. She's already there. Oh god. Fire. Oh. Oh, trying to stretch my back. I am very concerned for what all is about to happen. This absolutely feels like the end of the game, and that makes me, like, even more stressed of, like, what is about to happen? We're gonna run out of Coteries of New York. Friday's just gonna be me playing House Flipper. I'll just restart the game and make nothing but goth houses. Alright. Torque is following suit, grimly determined, flashing his piercing gaze all over, still certainly uncertain that this isn't some kind of con. Finally, you see it. Light coming from a window in one of the buildings at the edge of the island. The three of you slowly creep closer to the building and take a look inside the window. Sorry. Yeah, I was up till like 2 playing Animal Crossing. Sorry, y'all. There it is. Callahan kneeling in front of the prince, sucking on Panard's wrist, both fully clothed, a small blessing. Torque makes his move, and before Sophie can stop him, he busts through the building's doors. It all happens very quickly. Torque grabs Callahan by the shoulders and throws him through the still open door. Callahan hits the ground hard. Torque appears to be on top of him and starts punching. You fucker! You piece of shit! Stop! The prince's voice takes hold just long enough to make Torque relent, which the Baron uses to his fullest. He shoves Torque off of him and tries to bite down. Prince, call off your lapdog! Langley, what is the meaning of this? The two anarchs break apart, both wounded, but neither is quite done yet. They look at one another with pure hatred. Kill the bitch, Helene. Leave the fledgling to me. Right after I deal with this shit stain, I'm gonna... A shrill, unpleasant laugh fills the air. You know who it belongs to. So entertaining, truly. It feels almost a shame to break up this spectacle, but alas... Thomas! Who the fuck is this joker? Ah, yes, I don't think we've met, though I did hear a lot about you, Mr. Torque. My name is Thomas Arturo, and I... Callahan uses this moment of uncertainty to strike. He's still too slow for Torque, who throws the boss onto the lawn where the two exchange blows again. Helene, if you would be so kind as to ask your friend to not hurt our guests too much. Callahan, don't kill him! This time, Callahan comes out on top and grabs Torque in an iron hold. Your companion struggles, but can't quite break away. I will not be denied, Helene, not this time. You will do as I command. And she will do as I command her, Douglas, old boy. What? Like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I feel I need to break up this little spectacle that's been going on for much too long. You think you're so smart, Langley, you and your clique. Figured out there was something fishy going on all on your own. But you were always working with just a piece of the puzzle. Wasn't she, Lamar? Sophie looks to you, shocked and disappointed. What are you talking about, Arturo? What I'm talking about, you ask? You, fledgling. You don't know? How could you? Only I knew. And your sire, of course. They're the one who agreed to embrace you after some negotiations. Trying to hide my visible shock so I can read these lines for y'all. Arturo's cravat. Does Arturo's cravat count as a scarf? No. It doesn't go around properly like a scarf. It does not wrap around to create. It's not a scarf. It's a bitch scarf. You hear a scream and a curse. It's Callahan, whose arm has been ripped off his body. Torque breaks out of the Baron's grasp, but doesn't continue the attack. Instead, he's at the edge of the water with a blink of an eye and disappears into the Hudson. The only trace left of him is his fedora. Leave him. Why can't you trust the actors to play their roles? No matter. A problem for another night. He'll reach his allies. He'll tell everyone of this. Let him. And why not? Nobody will believe him. Besides, his nights are numbered now that he's in the SI's sights. Sophie looks at you. How could you, Lamar? I saved you. Arturo suddenly appears next to her and slaps her in the face. Did you hear anything I said, Langley? Nothing? It's not them. It's me. Me. Thomas, what? No, shut up. Shut up. I'm talking now. You played this game all wrong. You were playing on one board, but you're just a pawn on another bigger board, see? You never realize that people at the top simply flip the chessboard over and punch you in the face whenever they don't like how the game is going. He motions to the remaining kindred. But the thing is, you weren't even adept at playing the game you knew. Lamar, just another pawn, placed on the board by my associate. You thought they were your piece since you took them in, but who gave you that idea? You returned to the night when you were judged by Prince Penard. The woman in red, Sophie, somebody speaking to her, a man in glasses, the man standing before you now. This is cruel. We all know what's going to happen. If only somebody would speak up for this poor child. They could be a useful tool for the Camarilla. Terror creeps onto Sophie's face. Of course, those are not the words you heard, were they? No. You were already grasping for some opportunity to to further your scheme. I put the bait out, and you took it. Hook, line, and sinker. After that, it was only a matter of time before you started using Lamar as your errand boy. No one is quite as easy to track and monitor as a naive fledgling who's just learning the ropes. What is it that you want, Thomas? What do I want? Oh boy. The answer is so simple, but so hard to put into words. Unstable stability. Cutting-edge tales of thrills and intrigue that push it to the limit, and then return you to the tried and tested status quo, gently, infallibly. A system full of distractingly moving parts, which simulate conflict so convincingly that its users never feel a need to direct their energy towards upsetting the system. Achieving the eternal through the disposable, building a city that's like a ship of Theseus, constantly changing its parts, yet always maintaining the same purpose, serving the same goal at all times. A large-scale infrastructure that has something like an exhaust system for the spirit. Something that, disperses the toxicity around instead of concentrating it in a single place. None of what you're saying makes the slightest bit of sense. Arturo is momentarily stopped in his tracks. He stares into the sky for a few seconds before a sad grin appears on his face. Spoken like someone who's never really had what it takes to make it in the big leagues. With a theatrical snap of the fingers, he gives his last sentence a sense of finality. Something's changed in the air. A woman's shape slinks behind Sophie's back. Goodbye, Sophie. A disheveled woman with what looks to be garden shears appears behind Sophie. Do we save her? Or try? I feel like cinematically, if we push her out of the way, we're gonna get got. It'll be like one of those moments. Push him out of the way and you get shot instead. Fuck. I knew I was a pawn, though. Like... Yeah, no, the people who have finished this, don't tell me. Let's just warn her. Maybe. Fuck. Now it really is Sophie's choice. I'm gonna warn her. Warning her is what feels right. Sophie, behind you! You hear the shears snip. Sophie's red hair conceals her face as her head falls, separated from her shoulders. Silence. Arturo's unpleasant laughter erupts right next to you. Oh, Lamar! Your career is moving at a breakneck pace. Moving up and up and up and up. Let me congratulate you on your promotion. What do you want from me? I was about to get to that. Helene, feel free to leave us and take the Baron with you.
Thomas, I don't think you should.
Shush, you're just being jealous.
Adelaide, escort the prince and our dear old Douglas, please.
Sure thing, darling. You are left alone next to Sophie's body. You try not to look, but it's hard to ignore her lithe frame decomposing in front of your eyes. Her red dress is like a cloth thrown over a mummified corpse. Congratulations! You've won this little game. You set out on a suicide mission and successfully brought down the power-hungry wannabe tyrant, even if it probably wasn't the way you imagined it. Now you're free to enjoy paradise again, life after death, immortality, eternal youth. What they don't tell you is, of course, living in paradise is inherently sinful when not everyone can partake. You have time to learn how to live with sin, don't you? Takes a melancholic look at the skyline surrounding him, the Statue of Liberty, and the lights of Manhattan shimmering in the distance. You know, New York taught me to believe in fate. My unlife began right here, and it began with utter despair. My first instinct was to drown myself in books, and keep reading and reading until literature gave me the piece of wisdom I needed to go on. Personally, I find reading a silly hobby in retrospect. I always had this minuscule hope that the next sentence I'd read could finally bring me salvation, but it never did. It only gave me fuel for this elevated, righteous, intellectual suffering. But the more I read, the easier it was for me to boil every paragraph down to a power relationship. The characters' influence over each other, the writer trying to impress the reader, etc. The strings everybody pulls started to look like strands that weave into the fabric of fate. And once I saw its beauty, I got teary-eyed. My architect instincts kicked into overdrive. I didn't have to submit to fate. All I had to do was cooperate with it, and wait for my time to shine. Give it my input, wherever needed, until it trusted me to do more. Thomas steps over what's left of Sophie, wiping his glasses with an elegant cloth from his pocket. And it did. Fate let me look after this city, with my architect's tools, and I started quietly shaping the streets and corridors, while Kaiser and his ilk shaped the information flow. And among many tools this process gave me, one of them was a way to reliably come up with useful agents like you. The methods I used were crude at times, but the route was there, and all you had to do was follow it. Some people write rulebook passages. The others plan city arteries. In the end, the effect is the same. Someone always follows. He puts on the glasses and gives you a long, hard look. I've grown fond of you. You've done so well. Even when that idiot Callahan tipped off the Inquisition, you still escaped. I like that kind of resourcefulness. I could use that kind of resourcefulness. He uncovers his wrist. So, take my blood. Just enough so we can start off on the right foot, as a sign of good faith. A sign that you're ready to play in the big leagues, ready to behold the sights I've prepared for you. What do you say, Lamar? Fuck. Oh, that was so good! Oh my god. That was amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that ending. I really do. I don't see why people are mad at that ending. Fuck people who don't like it. And we're gonna let the whole credits play. This is something I always do. I always watch every single second of the credits, just because all of these people worked really hard on this game, and they absolutely deserve to do this. They deserve all of their names to be seen. Yeah, supposedly there's some DLC coming, but we don't know exactly what it will be. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I like the VTM classic of, like, you were a tiny cog, nothing actually mattered, because, like, because in the end, like, that's just what this is over and over and over again throughout eternity. And it also gives me ideas as a storyteller of how to, like, trick people. I love this. This was so much fun. This was so amazing and so much fun. Do you guys want to see me do the other playthroughs? Do you want to see me do Ventru, or what was the other one? Was it Bruja? I think it was Bruja. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I think arguably they're the same, so we can do those as, like, super quick playthroughs where we just, like, blow through conversations, you know, like scenes that we already know. We'll just kind of go a little quicker through the playthrough. Okay, so it's one for Ventru and one that they would like to see. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. We're all still quarantined and stuff is getting pushed out, so fuck it, let's continue to game together. Let's continue to be together even when we physically can't. That's kind of the beauty of the world as we have it right now, is, you know, we're all stuck inside, but at least we can still find these little ways to be together. And so I thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I'll put a poll up on Twitter to ask what you guys want the next game to be, and we'll go from there. See you guys. Thank you again for joining me. Bye. And I'll see you tomorrow for Bloodlines at 10 a.m. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, guys.